have a 1997 Pontiac Sunfire, and we're going to be replacing the engine cooling fan on this one, and it's this guy right here. So we're going to show you the process of removing this cooling fan. One of the things you'll need to do is remove this plastic cover here. This particular car, the little plastic buttons that go there, here, and here, here, and here, they're all gone. So this will be easy to remove. I can show you real quick because all the buttons are already removed. And you can go ahead and just pull it out of the way. It's very flexible so that you can get to the rest of the bolts that we need to get to. We have a used cooling fan that we got from a wrecking yard that we're going to be putting on it. It's a good thing to kind of look over the fan you're going to put on it. We notice that the connection is right there next to the fan, and we got a couple of bolt holes here, and right here we have some, doesn't look like anything bolts here, it probably just grips behind some holders or something. So we're going to go step by step through replacing this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to need a lot of room between here to get that out, so I'm going to remove this relay that's in the way, and then I'm going to reach under here and unclip this cooling fan connection so that the wires will be free from it. Bottom bolt, as you can see, is right there. A 10mm socket with a 3-inch extension works really well here. Okay, and that is really the only bolt that I just showed you that is on this fan, believe it or not. One thing we're going to have to do, as I can tell, is we're going to have to take that bolt out right there and that bolt out right there, and that basically loosens this fan up to where we can pull the fan out. And so I'll show you that here in a second. What I had to do to get the driver's side brackets, I stuck a screwdriver in here right up underneath. This is part of the fan, and I stuck a screwdriver there and gave it a little tug so it could break loose from that little plastic clamp. What I had to do to just get me a little bit more room to work with is I pulled the bolt here and the bolt here off so that I could pull this back. And as you can see, that little plastic part right there is part of the fan as well, and it just kind of hooks over the top of the radiator ridge right there. So you just lift it up, and I'm going to get a long screwdriver, stick in there and pop it up on both sides so that it'll just go over the ledge, and then the fan should be able to be removed. So I've found out the hard way that we're going to have to put this thing on ramps and pull the fan out the bottom. So I highly suggest that you jack up your car enough to where you can, the fan will clear. Of course, you know, when you measure the fan, it's a good 24 inches. And so hopefully I've got enough room. I do have it loose, and I still need to disconnect the wire going to the fan motor. Okay, so here we have the wiring harness that goes to the fan motor. We're just going to release that little latch right there and then pull it out. Alright, this is a tight fit. I want to show a little bit of, I'm back on the upper side of the engine here. The fan, I have started to wiggle loose. The trick was of me pulling this radiator back because we loosened it here, and pulling it back gives me some clearance, and I'm actually having to kind of spin the fan counterclockwise to get around the AC line here, and well, it's a lot of fun. I'm going to keep bending this out of the way, and be careful not to scratch your radiator fins too much, because that'll cause damage to it being able to cool as well as it should. Okay, I got it loose. It's not very fun. If you can pull this rubber, looks like it's holding a wiring harness in it, you can pull it back. And there's probably a way, it looks like there's a way to maybe pull this loose right there, and there. I did not do that, so it made it a little bit harder to squeeze this radiator through there. But anyway, we've got it out. We're going to go back in with the new one. As you're putting it back, go ahead and spin it clockwise back to its original position. And make sure you get it snapped into the correct holders on the driver's side. And I haven't bolted it down or even gotten this top part over this little ledge here, so I'm going to work on that next. Okay, I'm on the underside because it's a little bit easier to get to this one bolt that's holding this whole fan on. Alright, here. Okay, I got that done. Almost finished with this job, other than putting some bolts back together on top. And there's the connection. Make sure it seats in real good. There we go. Alright, that's connected. Fan's real snug. You can see the bracket's a little bit better down here. That's the lower bracket. That's the upper bracket, and they just kind of hang on top of it, and that top one clips in, and of course the one on the very top clips over the lip of the radiator. Beginning, I told you to go ahead and remove this. It may or may not be necessary now that we went out the bottom, but I did notice the car wouldn't start without this ground wire put back on and tightened. So if you do what I said to do, then you try to start your car so you can put it on ramps. Well, you're going to need this ground wire connected back to the frame before the car will start.